Now you got me copying you.
I know.
My head also got itchy right as I watched you put your hands up, and I was like, "Oh, it's time for
I'm,
a scratching."
I'm messing with your head.
Listen, dude, I just want to be like you.
Have you ever wondered if the moon on your backdrop is the Grim Reaper?
I have not.
It is. You see like the cloaked head, and then the scythe, the stick that goes up, and the long blade that goes over.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me open up my drink.
Are you drinking that liquid death? Oh.
Oh, I do have liquid death.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, shoot, I should go get some of that, and we should just drink it anyway, like we're
This is my
sponsored.
kombucha.
Ooh. Well, hello.
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. How you doing? Are
Good.
we? Are we like? I always wonder, like, are we gonna do intros, or are we just gonna continue like just start the conversation and keep the conversation going, just how we would normally talk? Because like obviously we want to make this like a personal conversation, but like in terms of it being on YouTube or if we eventually put it on like Spotify or whatever, like no one's gonna know who we are. So it's like, should we every time we got to start and be like, "Hey, I'm Mike. Hey, I'm Tyler." Da da da.
No,
No, just start up
no.
conversations. Just go for it.
People who will like us will know us.
That's a cocky thing to say, dude.
I'm all for that.
Okay.
I
Listen,
we
I just
will
want to make
be.
sure we're figuring this all out.
Yeah, my vision is that we are going to be an acquired taste, and
Nice.
that like
We're slow burn.
that we're a slow burn, hop on, we're going fun places, but we're not going to necessarily like slow down the train for you.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Like we're doing things because I don't just don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to appear to be too eager to have listeners.
Fair enough. But it's
And
exciting. It's exciting when we get
all right, listen.
viewers. The
That
fact that we had like 20 views on the first video with no advertising, and I didn't really tell anybody about it. I don't know if you did or not, but I didn't.
I didn't.
I told my friends we have a secret podcast YouTube channel, and they're like, "What is it?" I'm like, "I can't tell you. It's a secret."
So I guess. Oh, all right. And so in terms of the marketing, I'm not comfortable marketing,
Yeah,
but you can.
I kind of like that we're not though.
Yeah, it's cool that we're not. And
It
then we
makes
got
it
that one
spicy.
dude, and the fact that we got that one guy who commented on the other video,
Yeah,
that was really exciting.
just wait till we get a sub. That's not me. Also, how come? Hold on. How come you haven't subbed to our channel yet? Like,
I,
what the heck?
I'm just not a big fan of it. It's okay.
Fair enough.
I,
Fair
I
enough.
think the bald guy's kind of a dick.
Yeah, I have to deal with myself enough. The bald guy. No.
I'm talking about me. I'm only talking about me. You're the one with like long, luscious, red, flowing hair.
Oh, please say more.
I'm the bald guy.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Yo, being that whoever that guy who commented, he is our very first commenter.
Dude, he's my best friend now.
Dude,
No.
I think we should have him on the show.
Oh my gosh, that we should. Yo, that'd be sick.
Because he's our very first comment.
That's
So
true.
so if this gets bigger than we're anticipating,
Yeah,
he is the very first guy. We gotta like at least, order him a pizza.
that's yeah.
The pizza's on us.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this though, dude. Pizza when you're not in New York isn't as great.
That's true.
It's just not. The pizza out
Well,
here
we'll
sucks.
find whatever region he's from
We'll send
and
him.
do some research and be like, what is the best food from that region?
Mm,
And be like, here you go.
it's on us.
I mean, we can send him an edible arrangement. Everybody loves an edible arrangement.
Yeah, that's true. They are delicious.
Are you gonna edit or am I gonna edit? Are we gonna flip a coin?
I thought we were just gonna do every other time we edit.
Okay. All right, good. So you're gonna edit?
Uh huh. Just add on things. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like so less busy than you.
Hold on.
What?
I got poppy seeds cut between my teeth. Please don't put this in. Am I tempting you? Because I don't want to be like.
There's just gonna be a nice slow zoom in on me, and it's like you're like, please don't put this in. Da-da, da-da. Oh man, I've been thinking about it too. I think I'm gonna go way over the top editing. Just adding in like mad
Dude,
dumb things.
Have fun. All right, so to get the conversation moving, we wanted to discuss superhero movie fatigue.
Fatigue. Yes. Have you had superhero movie fatigue?
At times.
At times, okay.
At times.
I have not.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I think I got really close at one point where I think that the problem that causes superhero fatigue is us. It's the fans. Because if you really think about it, how many Marvel movies are they putting out a year? Like, for the most part, it's usually a handful, right? Then maybe add in a show or two, you know? It's not that much content. There's plenty of other films that are coming out. There's plenty of other things you can be watching. You can even take time in between movies to not watch Marvel stuff. But yet, if you go on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and every social media that there is, there's hundreds of thousands of people making accounts that only talk Marvel, that only talk DC, that only talk about superheroes and stuff. And then it's blasted into your face 24 well, I guess not 24 hours a day, but it's blasted in your face almost every single day. And people are nitpicking everything. They're nitpicking the trailers. They're nitpicking the actual movies. They're nitpicking the casting that are released. They're nitpicking who's involved with every single film to the point where it's no longer fun to watch because you know everything already. So what I did, because I noticed this, I'm like, this is insane. I'm like, I hate seeing this. I hate spoilers. So in a way, all these things are spoilers because they're always talking about stuff before the damn movies come out.
True.
Like, I knew that there was going to be 3 Spider-Mans in the new Spider-Man months before the movie was even done being filmed. That's ridiculous. That would have been such a sick surprise to have happen. Yeah. But it was ruined. You know? And then, so what I did is I unfollowed all those. And when they start popping up in my feed, I click to ignore and say, don't show me stuff like this anymore. And I just sit back and enjoy the movies as they come out, and they're awesome. And I enjoy them a lot. And when I talk to my friends about it, they're always like, I didn't really like this one. Like, they could have done this and this better and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but did you enjoy watching the movie? Yeah. So just because it wasn't exactly perfect to something that you made up in your head, it's no longer a great movie because you've thought about 1,000 different theories about the film and it didn't line up to that. Where's the problem here?
Okay.
I hate people. That's what it comes down to.
That's going to be a thread in most of our videos. Is
Dude, honestly, man, I've been like thinking about more and more ideas of what we could talk about on this thing, and it keeps coming back to how I just don't like people.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I also love people so much.
Yeah, I mean, so it kind of sounded like what you're originally saying was that superhero fatigue shouldn't be a thing.
Oh yeah.
As in, like, so my question to you is, then is superhero fatigue real to people who say they have superhero fatigue?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say definitely.
Okay. And so you credit superhero fatigue to knowing more of the behind the scenes stuff and guessing, theorizing, speculating, reading about contracts, reading about casting. That plays a big role in superhero fatigue.
Absolutely. Because a lot of people are blaming it on the studios. They're blaming it on the companies and whatnot. And I wholeheartedly disagree.
Okay.
I think it's us as fans are ruining it.
So now I want to ask you another question. What are the symptoms that you can think of superhero fatigue? Like, what is the fatigue?
Shoot. I don't know. I haven't had it, so...
or at least in
Grumpiness?
At least in what you've... What?
Grumpiness? I don't know. Like, what?
Okay. In your research, when you're watching YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all this stuff, and you hear people talking about it, what are the signs and symptoms of superhero fatigue that you've seen? So you say grumpiness.
Yeah, it's just like
Spider-Man wasn't more like this, and Wolverine was too much like this, and Thanos wasn't the right shade of purple. No.
Yeah. It was interesting how they changed the shade of Thanos as he moved on through the movies. But no, we're not going in on that.
That's the next video. That's our next conversation.
Why was he not the same purple? No. I've watched those trailers 6,000 times.
It's a different purple. I just don't get it.
It's like they got a different guy.
Purple? What's wrong with that purple? Why can't you just use that purple?
So stupid. No, I mean, when I talk to anybody who's superhero fatigued, it's just mainly just like a lack of excitement for what's to come. You know, like it's always like at the end of the movie, it's like, oh yeah, there's another one coming. It's like, well, yeah, dude, it's superheroes. Like they're not gonna just stop. Like, look at the comics. There's like millions of comics. The stories are endless. You know? Like, of course there's going to be more. That's the point. It's entertainment. It's there to entertain you. It's there for you to escape your own reality for a little bit and go live in a spectacular world where people can do extraordinary things. You know?
Okay.
So when people are just like not excited about it, or they're like, oh god, another Marvel thing coming up. And in fairness, Marvel is just unloading a whole bunch of content, which is great. But at the same time, it's like they space it out pretty well. If you just watch the movies and the TV shows as they come out, like more often than not, the shows don't overlap with when movies come out. You can watch the entire series week by week and not be having to go watch a movie in between. There's not that much content. If you think about it, like you watch a lot of YouTubers a lot more frequently than you're watching Marvel stuff, but you don't get fatigue about them. You watch TV shows that go on for years. That it's just season by season, and they have the season off, and then they have another season back on. It's like you're not tired of those. But at the same time, you watch Marvel. Also, I'm going to say Marvel because, I mean, let's be real. DC's god awful. Sorry if you're a DC fan. It's just they're like DC comics are great, but like their cinematics are terrible. Besides the
Yeah,
Batman, that was dope, but that's because they didn't put it in the DC universe.
yeah.
um, but like, yeah, that's why people are getting so tired. What do you think? Now that I've verbally vomited all over,
Well,
what are your opinions about it?
no, I don't think I disagree with you. Um, I let's see. I think I experienced superhero fatigue when in the MCU with starting with the Doctor Strange movie.
Okay.
I was getting worn out, uninterested when the Doctor Strange movie, the Captain Marvel, Black Panther kind of was coming out. The interesting thing is I am somebody who reads the news of movie production. I read the news about casting. I read the news about writers. I read the news about contracts. I find all that stuff really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like the creation behind it.
Right.
So if I know that like Thor isn't gonna die because Chris Hemsworth is signed on for 3 more movies, that doesn't take me out
Yeah.
of the movie when I'm watching it. What gives me superhero fatigue is when, like, if MCU is, going right along, full steam ahead, creating, and then other companies are trying to do the same thing and trying to compete. And if I'm like at the movie theaters and I'm watching trailers and it's just like this superhero movie, they're going to try to use this superhero. They're going to try, like, all the other companies are all vying for that success. That's when I'm like, oh man, I don't like this. Like,
Okay.
I wish this wasn't a thing.
Right.
That this cool movie genre is everybody's trying to make their own universes. That feels phony to me. The phoniness is what gets me. And maybe I'm walking a fine line between wanting to know the stuff, but then not liking. I didn't like Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. I felt like those movies, the characters weren't written very well. They weren't given like depth. They weren't created with like integrity. They weren't strong characters. Similar to Thor.
Okay.
Thor 1 and 2 and the Thor that was in Avengers was really lacking personality. And then Taika Waititi showed up. They decided to flip the script with Thor for Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Right? Then Thor Ragnarok was great because it's like, oh, this character now has a lot of personality. The MCU, this might be my hot take. I don't think that the MCU would have taken off if it was not for Robert Downey Jr. and Jon Favreau in Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
They put the personality, they let Robert Downey Jr. just eat up the whole scene.
Yeah.
They let him just be himself. He's charismatic, tons of personality.
Mm-hmm.
Jon Favreau was smart and been like, "You're Tony Stark, be Tony Stark."
Right.
That's a brave move.
Yeah.
So for me, going back to superhero fatigue is when a movie is on the rails. There's not a spontaneous nature between the writing. The writing feels fixed, formulaic, stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, here's the big bad guy. You're going to do this thing. You're going to do that thing. That becomes just that's stale for me. You can have like Scott Dickinson, I think was the director of Doctor Strange.
Okay.
The visuals were breathtaking, completely
totally.
great. But the writing for his character, the writing of his jokes, his personality was so rigid, so stiff. I was like, I don't care at all about this character. I don't care about Captain Marvel, and I didn't really care about Black Panther. I think that the Black Panther in Civil War, the little bit that we had, was actually better than what we had in that whole movie with him.
Right.
So the superhero fatigue for me is having to wait for Disney, the writers, the executives, to figure out what they're going to be doing with these characters.
Mm.
I'm like, they make movies to have the character be present, but then I still don't feel like they don't know what to do with their character.
Right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Like, I think that, like, Captain Marvel suffered from her just being an unlikable character. She was so stiff.
Yeah, that
movie
is brutal to watch.
She was so snarky, and there was very little heart in who she was. It was like if just those movies just felt like actors acting. They weren't getting lost in it.
I will say I totally agree on that. I disagree with Black Panther. I'll give you Doctor Strange. Like in fairness to me or to you or whatever, like it's forgettable.
Yeah.
But Black Panther, I thought that movie was great. I thought it was such a good film. I thought he had a pretty good. I mean, it's not super original in terms of like his character development, but like I thought Killmonger was awesome. I thought the whole storyline was really great, and I thought it really set up nicely for his entrance into the MCU.
I think Michael B. Jordan was the strongest part of that whole movie because I think that he was more dynamic than Chadwick Boseman,
right,
in that movie.
Yeah. Also, too, like the other part about it was like you're almost on board with him, like as the villain. You're like he's kind of right. I mean, he's going about it in a crazy way, but like there's like the problem that he's talking about. It's like you're like, well, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think we should start killing everybody, but like, you're like, but he's not fully wrong. And it's like that. It for me, it created a different feeling than I've had in any other superhero movie where I was like, wait a second, like, I kind of like the villain more, and not because he's just some crazy lunatic who's like whatever. I'm like, no, he's just like, yeah, he is a very dynamic character, and like his backstory was also really great.
So and to roll off of that, think about the creation of that movie, right? You think about they're gonna write a villain who's going to be in one movie, and then he's done.
Yeah, that's such a
so then they can have that actor flex personality, because it's like, all right, well, we know your personality from start to finish of this one movie, and then
True.
it's done,
Yeah, I guess that
right?
makes sense.
To think about, like, it just seems to me like it's a lack of an overarching, like, story arc for that character. And it's just like, well, we don't really know what to do with him yet, so this movie will just feel like kind of like a placeholder,
Yeah,
like making a movie for the sake of making a movie.
I don't know, but it's just like you could make that argument as well with like Iron Man 2. You know, like I when I first started up my YouTube channel, I was rewatching all the older MCU movies. And to be honest with you, from Iron Man 1 through Iron Man 2, there is not that much character development. In Iron Man 2, he literally doesn't change at all. He starts off the movie as an arrogant little asshole who has addiction problems, and he finishes the movie as an arrogant asshole with addiction problems. So it's just like he quite like nothing changes. And in fairness, Iron Man 2 isn't a good movie.
Oh man,
It's just
I
not.
oh man,
Like I'll say this, I enjoyed it more than I did back when I first watched it, because I watched it again with a different attitude and I wasn't like nitpicking it as much. But like in terms of character development, it was lacking hard. So it's
hmm.
like there's plenty of that throughout the whole MCU, and like yeah, I guess maybe I'm just a little bit more willing to wait it out and see because you know I mean, hey, if anybody knows, it should be you. Is like people take time to change,
Yeah,
you know, and it's like
no,
I've always been
it's
about the
true.
little. I've always been about those little steps, you know, and I think that's what's given me grace with a lot of people in my life personally, where it's like they've had some rough times, and it's like I don't want to. It's people where it's like you could very well just cut them out, but it's like you see them making little changes, little steps. And you're like, okay, there might be a little bit, you know.
I want that with the humans in my life. I don't know if I want that with my superhero movies.
I mean, in fairness, no, I agree. I agree totally. But it's like I'm just saying maybe that's why I have a little more patience when it comes to these heroes. You know, it's like because
Okay.
I don't mind the little steps. In fact, I actually get excited when I see them. You know, and it's definitely a lot more fun seeing that in real life. But like, because you want to see the bigger changes happen on the big screen. But like, yeah, I mean, if you actually sit down and rewatch Iron Man 2, quite literally, he's the same person that starts the movie as he ends.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm just saying, it's like he like these newer characters aren't the only ones, and I agree. I liked the earlier Thor movies, you know, and yeah, they're definitely a bit stiff, but like I like his origin. I thought it was a cool story. I don't know why my hands are staying up like this, but they're gonna. It's like
Can you edit? Can you edit Thor one poster on one and Thor two poster on the other?
just
I like
interchanging
these.
the movies.
I like these movies.
I'm not doing that.
So going back to superhero fatigue,
Right.
I I believed for a little bit with how bad the DC movies were that
Okay.
it was Warner Brothers' attempt to destroy the entire genre of superhero movies across the board for everybody. I thought that they were trying to weaponize superhero fatigue and
Wow.
like
Okay.
make their movies so aggressively bad and the trailers, all that stuff, so exhausting that people would be their distaste for superhero movies would then hurt Disney
Mm.
and then be like, oh, Superman, Batman, and people then would lump them all together. Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Avengers, they're all the same thing. I'm just done with it because like Disney's just cranking them out,
Yeah.
and Warner Brothers like shit the bed.
They did.
So like, I was like, oh, is this there? Are these movies intentionally this bad?
I never thought of it like that, to
You
be
know, like
honest.
corporate espionage, like like trying to wipe out your competition by removing the desire for it.
Yeah, I never actually considered that as a possibility.
All right, here's an area of superhero fatigue that I am expecting.
Okay.
Did you see the trailer for the Miss Marvel
Actually,
series?
no, I didn't. I've seen. Actually, I didn't know that it was actually out. I just saw people reacting to like promotional pictures or whatever. Because like
Okay.
all I've seen are people being like, people are really throwing a lot on this or something like that, and I'm like, I didn't even know it was out. So no, I haven't actually watched the trailer.
So so what I'm gonna say is I thought that the trailer is sweet. It looks fun. It looks cute.
Mm-hmm.
What I am anticipating myself for is if they're trying to do something big with that character,
Uh huh.
that like I'm going to need to watch that to then appreciate for another project that they're aiming for.
Well, I mean, that's what
Does
they
that
do
make
with
sense?
that's what they do with all the stuff. It's all connected.
I know, but all right, so that's a good part. I feel like that is a part of superhero fatigue
Yeah, they have to watch everything.
that you have to.
Yeah.
Like, watch Hawkeye the series, or else you're not going to know what's going to end up happening in this movie, right? And they're not
They're holding a gun to
explicit in that.
America.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
I guess to the
well, I mean,
world. Excuse me.
to the world, like, no, I mean, I don't want to be that extreme, but
I will.
I hope I don't have to watch that. And I'm not trying to judge it. I'm not saying that it looks bad.
hmm
Like a teenager struggling with her powers, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, all right,
That's
I don't
always
know
been
if I have it.
told.
Well, I also don't know if I have too much interest in that.
That's fair. Well, that's a beautiful thing is that you don't. You don't have to
Unless
watch it.
unless they force me to.
They won't. No one's forcing you.
If like the next movie that has like Galactus or something awesome, and to be like, well, there was all this story from Miss Marvel about Galactus. Be like,
And guess what you can do?
yo,
Guess what you can do?
what can I do?
You can go on YouTube and watch any of the hundreds of thousands of people making videos talking about Mrs. Marvel.
Do you
Miss
wait?
Marvel.
Do you have Disney Plus?
I do.
All right. Did you notice how Disney already planned this with their Marvel Visions, and it's like they had a recap
Yeah.
of the character
Yeah, I love
for
those
the
visions.
series
Yeah.
that's going to come out,
Yeah.
because they're basically like saying, we know it's a lot. We know we're asking you a lot to remember all this.
Yeah, and that's them putting the gun back down on the table and being like, it's okay. You don't have to. You
To
should.
be fair, I was a comic book collector
Oh yeah.
from like 18 until maybe in my early 30s. So 16 years, maybe. I'm not very good at math. 16 years, maybe I was
Sure.
collecting comics for. I'm a huge Wolverine fan.
Like 12, but whatever.
Um, and they're superhero fatigue with comic books
Sure.
because they're not going to kill like a major character completely off,
Never. Yeah.
right? So you can only read that for so long before you're like, they're really not gonna they're not going to do anything big to Wolverine because
But
that's their
what
bread
if
and
they
butter.
do?
But dude, can you imagine though? Can you imagine what would happen if they legitimately killed Spider-Man and they're like, "We're done. He's dead."
That'd be pretty crazy. Like I would
They
be,
would go bankrupt.
I'd be bummed about it, but at the same time, it was like that'd be really cool.
It would be cool because that would be an integrity move.
Yeah,
But they, unfortunately, not to be too like overly cynical, they're like, "This character makes us money."
yeah, of course. Well, that's the other thing too. Is it's like if they kill off Spider-Man, they're not really killing off Spider-Man as a character. They're killing off Peter Parker. Like there's other
Yeah,
Spider-Man. You know, so it's like there can be
yeah.
other ones. It's fine. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be mad about it because he's not white anymore, but it's like whatever. Like Miles
Well,
Morales is dope. Like
but
honestly,
Miles
in
Morales,
the
he's not
whole
Spider-Man though.
is he?
No, here's the thing. He is a version of Spider-Man, but he is not the Spider-Man.
Whatever, dude.
Come
Spider-Man into the what was it? What's that movie? The animated one called?
into the multiverse or
Into
no, into the
Webverse?
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. That movie was amazing.
I completely agree.
So it's like that's the thing is like if they kill off Peter Parker, it's fine. Like they can build up other characters. I mean, of course, but
So
like I get it too, because like you said, it's a money thing, and it's like people want to see Peter, but there's other options out there too. That's
I
all
think
I'm
that
saying.
this is perhaps where Marvel is actually learning from DC.
Mm-hmm.
Is because DC has superhero core. So like the Flash core, the Green Lantern
Yeah.
core.
Mm-hmm.
There is numerous people who take up the mantle
Yeah.
of a name.
Exactly.
And so I think Marvel has learned from that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like numerous Spider-Men. There's numerous Wolverines.
And now there's a new Captain America.
But there's not two Captain Americas.
There's not two, but there's a new one.
There's a new one.
Yeah. Which I'm
There's
still
not.
not super happy about them picking the Falcon, just because I don't like the Falcon. I think it's just a bad character. Which, in fairness, I actually enjoyed the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was gonna like it. Also, it's not even so much the character. I just think I don't really like the actor. Like
Anthony Mackie.
yeah, it's just like he brings this whole cocky energy, and it's like, bro, you're a human. You're gonna get outrun by everybody. You're outstrengthed by everybody. You have a pair of wings that somebody else built for you. That's it. And you use guns. That's it. The only thing that differentiates you from any other idiot with two guns is you have those metal wings. And you don't even have a full suit like Tony does. So you're very vulnerable. Most of the fights that he gets into, he should be dead. Like in that Falcon Winter Soldier, when he's fighting against all these super soldier guys, literally one punch from any of them would crumple him. Just absolutely, he gets punched in the chest or kicked in the chest at one point, dead. Full blown dead. Like, that's not even like getting hit by a car. That's like getting hit by a plane. You know, like, what do you, like,
I would have.
that for me is suspending the disbelief too far.
Yeah, I wondered. I wonder what it would have been like if Bucky became Captain America.
Yeah, that would have been the better choice. However, it's like I will say in terms of like character development and stuff, he wouldn't have been in a good place to become Captain America at this point.
Yeah.
That's also why I like the show, is because it shows how really messed up he is.
Well, and that's where I feel like Disney kind of painted themselves into a corner when it came to the Winter Soldier because, and maybe the comic book series. I think the comic book series and this one is in the movie are pretty accurate to each other.
Yeah.
But they ended up making the Winter Soldier a lot like Wolverine.
Yeah.
He's much older than he seems.
Mm-hmm.
He has his mind erased.
Yep.
He's got these these new power, kind of like, for paraphrasing sake, he got these new powers given to him by some shady government type thing. He's actually a good guy. However, he's used as a weapon.
And he's got anger problems.
and he can scowl. And there's times when he looks like Wolverine, when he's got his longer hair.
Yeah, it's true. I never even thought about it, but yeah, you're right.
And it's just like, oh. And I was like, how are they going to introduce another character who's really old, but he looks young, who's had his mind erased by a government, who's used as a weapon? I'm like, ooh. So they either have to totally soften up the Winter Soldier now, to make way for Wolverine, or
I didn't even think about that. I guess that makes sense. I will say, on a very other, not fully following this conversation thought. and this is also totally going against what I said before about like talking about things. It was like what should be and what shouldn't be or whatever. But it's such an interesting thought to me, was like when they were talking about who would they cast as Wolverine. I saw a while back somebody was like they should cast Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. And like honestly, dude, at first I'm like, Harry Potter? Like what? But then they showed this picture of him with a beard and his hair is a little bit longer and kind of roughed up looking. And I was like, oh my gosh, he actually looks kind of the part. Like if he just like, gave him the Marvel juice, like that would actually be a really dope call because he's not a tall guy. Like, could he play the character? I would like to think so. I think he's a pretty good actor. Like, I've only seen him in one other thing I can think of that wasn't Harry Potter. And I forgot what the name of it was, but he was...
Guns Akimbo?
No, it was him in...
Swiss Army Man?
No, I didn't see that one either. It was a... it was a movie about the Klan. And he was
Green Room?
No, I forgot what it's called. Someone with like an eye.
Okay.
But it was phenomenal. And he did like a really good job in it. And he's like a very intense, like skinhead guy. And it's just like totally not what I was going to expect out of him. And I'm like, maybe he could do this. I'm like, it might actually be really cool, especially because, like, Hugh Jackman, like, obviously was freaking awesome, but, like, he's not, like, the 5 foot whatever Wolverine. He's the 6'2" freaking supermodel version of Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, they could try to go a little more comic book, real Wolverine, I guess.
Cast Danny DeVito.
That's the move.
That was so. There's a famous X-Men writer, Chris Claremont, and when he was asked, like in the late '80s, if they had a cast Wolverine, who would he think? And he says, "I think Danny DeVito would be perfect for Wolverine."
Dang.
And I was like, what? All right, Mr. Famous X-Men writer.
It's doing a little bit too much of the, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know who I would cast.
I just thought that was such an interesting thing because, like, I know everybody else has been like, it should be Tom Hardy or like
I
whatever.
I I thought I big time thought back when I big time thought that they were going to cast. I don't know the guy's name. The guy who plays Jon Snow.
That would have
I
been
I
cool. I
I
mean,
thought
obviously,
that
it
they
won't be him now, but
obviously it won't be him now. But
that
I
wouldn't have
thought
been a bad move either.
I was just like, okay, young, up and coming, action, known.
Yeah.
I'm like, why not have him be Wolverine? And I just thought it from a more practical standpoint. I wasn't saying that's necessarily who I wanted, but I was like,
No, I mean, it would have made sense though.
that would have made a lot of sense. He's good looking, so you got girls who want to, he's attractive. So people who have a crush on him are going to be like, oh, I want to go see that again.
Yeah, they're gonna want to see what Snow knows.
What's the guy's name?
I don't know. It's Jon Snow to me. Which is such a bummer. That show is so. I
All right.
hate talking about that. Also, I can't. I'm sorry. I feel like such a jerk. Literally, starting off the whole thing being like, it's ridiculous how people talk about all this stuff and like there's too much, and then immediately like switch bands like, but did you hear about this? Just
Wait a
full
second.
blown hypocrisy right in this podcast. This is going to be the hypocrisy hour.
You're a fraud.
Yeah.
You should hang your head in shame. How dare you?
Well, I am a piece of
So yeah, superhero fatigue.
Yeah. Stop having it. No.
Just say no.
Have you just tried not?
Have you tried not having superhero fatigue?
It's really easy. I did it.
You just gotta
just like so stupidly cocky.
Pray the fatigue away.
Dude, honestly, it's like it really is people having this absolute need to like know what's going on. It's a power grab. It's too much. People just need to
I agree with you.
Back up and just like enjoy things. And it's not even just superheroes, it's everything. Like literally every part of life. I could go on a whole rant. I thought about so many different topics to talk about, and it literally comes down to people putting way too much into it. Stop it, everyone. Relax.
Yeah. Because it gets tiring. I guess it's tiring to excessively care about something that's been going on for years. Over. Well, yeah, you have no control over, and it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
So you're going to get worn out.
Yeah. Just enjoy the movie. Sit back, shut your damn mouth, and watch the movie. Have a snack. Have some cherry Coke and peanut M&Ms. It's the best snack you could have at a movie. And shut your mouth. And once the movie's over, talk about it. Talk about it for like an hour or two. Go stand in the parking lot like we used to do. Chit-chat. And then be done. And that's it. That's the whole movie experience. No need to go online and fight people about it.
All right. I think my closing point that I was thinking about is this.
Uh-huh.
I think superhero movies are simple and juvenile.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not a bad thing. I like simple things and I like juvenile things.
Yeah, that's why you like me.
That's why I'm doing this. These are things that can't be really overly analyzed.
Yeah.
This is not like if this is not like other movies, this is where it's just like it's more of like a piece of art, where it's like this is just like a character study on somebody going through this or that or the other thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can be analyzed. But I feel like these are just something that's too simple, too juvenile, can be overly analyzed to make people think that they're the smartest person in the room. When it's like, bro, it's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like, awesome. Like, wow.
Cool, dude.
Your analysis on Thor, that's something.
It's true. Although
It's
Thor
like,
is my favorite.
there you go. And I'm not saying you can't analyze it,
Oh, of
but
course.
just it's like just don't take yourself so, not you, but like don't take yourself so seriously,
Yeah.
because this is a movie largely for teenagers.
Yeah. It's not made for you, 30-year-old guy.
Go watch
Grow
an
up.
artsy movie.
Go read a book.
Go like read some
Try a museum.
Shakespeare. Have you ever gone to a museum?
You know what? Honestly, I actually am kind of bummed I haven't been to a museum in like a couple of years now.
You should go. You should go to a museum,
They're great. I
and
actually really like museum.
you should do museum things at museum.
Yeah, I'm gonna critically analyze every museum I go to. I'm gonna give you a breakdown on every single piece of art that you've seen in this museum.
That's gonna be our next video.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. Actually, you know what? Like, and it does sound silly, but like, honestly, the last time I went to a museum was when I was in Ireland. We went to like 4 different museums while we were there, and I enjoyed it so much. And most of them were free. Well, we only went to one that you had to pay to get into.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, it's actually really cool. Just saying. We're gonna become a museum podcast. It's one of those things I was like, I didn't realize I liked museums as much as I did until we just started talking about it. I'm like,
Next time on Go Away Museum Reviews.
yeah. By the way, did you see I changed our little like thing
You changed our thing.
on our YouTube? Go to our YouTube.
I didn't, because I'm not subscribed to it, so I don't see it.
Yo, first off, go subscribe. And this isn't to you, the audience member. This is for you, Tyler. You
This
son
is
of
for
a gun.
me. Yeah, we don't. I don't.
Mother.
I don't think we should have subscribers.
Dude, I just pulled a thing really quick. Just like, you know how there's like a little icon, and right now it was like an M in like a gray circle.
Mm-hmm.
I just put a little thing that just says "go away."
Nice.
I thought it was cute looking. I had to find one that was like not copyrighted though online. So
A picture that says "Go Away."
yeah, when I was awake last night at like 4 or 5 in the morning, I was like, we should fix this. So I went on my computer and fixed it. And I was like, Tyler's never gonna notice. I have to tell him.
I'm not gonna notice. I don't go onto our page.
Listen, dude, you're a liar. You're the one who texted me. He's like, oh, we got like 20 views on the first video. Liar.
All right, I gotta go downstairs to play Catan Junior with my kids. I'm starting them off young.
Fair enough, dude. Fair enough. I'm kind of jealous, but I also am not, because I don't really care for Catan that much.
I thought you were gonna say you don't really care for children.
No, I like kids. I'm so bummed that I don't know your kids all that well.
Yo,
That's probably the biggest bummer in my life. So on that sad note, I love you, dude.
Love you
See
too,
you
man.
later. Bye. I stand up. I'm not wearing pants. I'm not.
Just your butt shows as you walk off.
Listen, dude, I looked at what the camera angle is. You can't see what's going on down there. You can't tell that I'm only wearing my underwear.
Can you see what my hands are doing to myself right now?
What?
All right, Mike. See you later. All right. right, dude. I'm gonna hop off.
All right, I love you.
Love you too.
Dude,
Bye.
I almost just tried to end off like my streams. Stay aggressively positive. Bye.